Stable is it's hanging a bit. Well, we need to start 19, right? 18 we did for section C we need to do. Right. Okay, Hare Krishna. So we are on to the chapter 18th, the summary of the how to do perfect renunciation, how to completely surrender to the Lord. In this, we are in the part of 18.19, 18, 19 to 40, the karma, the modes which control all the activities. In the previous chapters, also in the 14th chapter and 15th chapter, also we learned about how various, how one works with the different faith, how the three modes of material nature acts with different, different in a person. So similarly here also, the now the knowledge will be talked about according to five factors, right? The three modes basically acted by the five factors dictated by the three modes of material nature, right? Which includes one, knowledge, action, one's performance of action, understandings, and determination, and happiness, right? So these all can be divided in three other modes, right? So all the activities within the universe are thus controlled by the three modes from Brahma Bhuvana Luka. Punaravarti Nojino. So from the topmost knowledge, from topmost planet of Brahma Loka to the Patal Loka, all are under the control of the three modes, right? So as far as we are in this 14 planets, we will be governed by that only, right? Okay. So 8.18.19 basically, it tells about the three kinds of knowledge, right? Based on the modes of material nature. The shloka, I guess. Okay, we will directly discuss. So what is how the knowledge basically how the knowledge is basically divided into the three modes of till nature, right? So the first shloka comes with the knowledge by which one undivided spiritual nature is seen in all existence. Undivided in the divided is knowledge in the mode of goodness, right? So one who sees that everywhere Paramatma is there, right? The mode of goodness, what one will see, that the knowledge in which one undivided spiritual nature is seen in all existence, right? Undivided spiritual nature is the Paramatma, right? Undivided in the undivided is the knowledge in the mode of goodness. We are divided by different karmas, right? We can see that we have different bodies, that is just as per the karmas. But the Mayavadi, how they will think that the basically consciousness is the body, and everyone is having different consciousness, and it comes for the time being, and when when the body dies, the consciousness also dies, right? The Mayavadi think like that, but that is not true knowledge, right? That is the false knowledge, right? What is actual knowledge? That Paramatma is already there, who is Ubdarshanu that who is allowing, permitting, and the overseer, right? So that is the knowledge that one needs to have, right? So this knowledge comes under the mode of goodness. If it's not there, it's other, right? It will be mode of passion or ignorance. And which knowledge? That knowledge by which a different type of living entity is seen to be dwelling in different bodies is the knowledge in mode of passion, right? Right. For example, right? I just told you that assuming that the body is only the consciousness, right? So the one is thinking that okay, this body is consciousness, so utilize this body, get ahead with this body, and die. The consciousness will also die, right? And the mode of darkness, what will happen? And that knowledge by which one is attached to one kind of work as the all in all, without knowledge of the truth, and which is very meager, is said to be mode of darkness, right? Only one kind of one, who is too much into the sense gratification, right? One is here, just to enjoy. One says that no, this body is there for only for sense gratification, right? Nothing more, not for not even in the mode of passion. Mode of passion person will be utilizing his body, creating some things, and assuming that this body is some consciousness, right? But in the mode of darkness, one kind of work he will be attached. He will be too much attached to the one kind, any kind of work, without the knowledge of the truth, which is very meager, because whichever knowledge, the knowledge which is telling the person is that this is everything. That, for example, one needs to make a big house, right? He's attached to making the big house, right? Always contemplating on that knowledge, right? He's thinking that it is permanent, but it is a meager thing. It is a meager thing because it is temporary, right? So that is the mode of darkness, right? That kind of knowledge is basically the mode of darkness. So whichever knowledge is taking you to that process is basically different modes of goodness, darkness, and passion. If that knowledge is taking you to the Paramatma, that knowledge you are reading about the Paramatma, then that is the mode of goodness knowledge. That knowledge, which is which is differentiating between the with the higher and the lower species, differentiating like that. That is in the mode of passion, right? And one knowledge, and which relates to the everything is for enjoyment, for us only, we are the enjoyer. That is the mode of darkness, right? So that kind of knowledge. So we can see that on the we all are in this material world, right? Whatever we read, right? So we need to be careful. We these are all the filters, right? In which filter you need to keep it, right? Right. In the first filter, if it is concerning to the Paramatma, read it. If it is concerning to the the higher and the lower species and all, this is higher, this is rich, this is poor, this is all mode of passion, right? One is reading with the knowledge that okay, this is this is the ultimate thing, right? This is the house is so beautiful, the restaurant is very good, this kind of things, that the meager things one is thinking, that is mode of darkness, right? So we need to see that which kind of, the Instagram is all mode of mode of darkness only, all mode of darkness, right? Three kinds of action based on the modes of material nature, right? So what kind of action one will do in the, because one will do some action, right? So in the mode of goodness, what one will do, as for the action, that action is according with the duty which is performed without attachment, without love or hate, by one who has renounced fruitive results, is called action in the mode of goodness, right? In the previous chapters, also in the starting of the Karma Yoga, the Sthitadir Muni was the concept of Sthitadir Muni was given by Krishna to Arjuna, right? He's equipoised, he has renounced the future results, right? So similarly here also, that the conclusion of the action, ultimately what kind of action one needs to do, is being summarized here and concluded also, right? That as for the action which is duty, here Lord is saying you need to fight, you need to follow the Kshatriya dharma, it is as prescribed, but don't be attached to the fruitive results out of it. If you win, you go to the you live here with the kingdom, and if you lose, you go to the heavenly kingdom, right? Just don't be attached with it, right? Just don't be attached. If you become attached, then the reaction will come, and for that one needs to again come back to this world, or any other higher or lower planets, right? So action should be, it is without attachment, or without love and hate. No love should be there, no hate should be there. It is just out of duty, just for the just for the duty one is doing. That is the mode of goodness, right? That kind of action, right? But action performed with great effort by one seeking to gratify his desires, and which is enacted from a sense of false ego. False ego is, we are not this soul, we are this body. That is false ego, right? We are this body, assuming that the soul is not, the body is there. That is the sense of false ego. It's called action in mode of passion, right? So great effort. One needs to build a house. He need to have great effort, right? That kind of action he will do. He will go to various jobs. He will work more tirelessly. Various activity one will do for the temporary things, right? And that action performed in ignorance and delusion, without consideration of future bondage or consequences, which inflicts injury and is impractical, is said to be an action of mode of ignorance, right? So there's delusion, ignorance, and performed in ignorance, delusion, right? For example, taking intoxication substances, right? One is into the animal life, eating, sleeping, mating, defending, right? This is all this animal life. This kind of ignorance one is in, just in the delusion. One is without any future of bondage. One is doing that work, is not thinking that this this will incur me some bondage to this activity and this bondage to the world, right? Then what will happen, that the consequences will be there. Again, when we need to, he is not thinking about that, right? He the inflicting injury upon him, right? And he's one is taking intoxication, the injury is also there, right? And sometimes it is impractical to achieve some things, right? So that is one is doing so out of delusion, right? Once body is not like that to do some things, so he is doing achieving trying to achieve with that body something which is not required, so that is impractical. So that is just mode of ignorance, that is just mode of ignorance. For example, right, my body is not allow me to dance in a proper way, right? For example, dance in a proper way, like the other other one has who has some inborn talents, right? So one is one is inflicting impractical some thing doing for the meager things, right? Meager things one is doing, and the